What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunch Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Terence Crawford, Shawn Porter, and Bob Arum. Get this, Bob Arum has, sources say, has put up the entire purse for both fighters. Wow. Now, listen, this is extraordinary. I didn't know Bob had it in him. And it's strange because, first off, shout out to Bob Arum for making this happen, for pulling rank, so to speak. Also for just taking control. Doing something that he hasn't done in a very long time is be greedy or stingy or cheap. And another shout out is to Shawn Porter, because Shawn Porter, through negotiations, he could have easily walked away from the challenge because, after all, it was him that had the position to put up or shut up. So he's putting up. And he's getting $4 million because he's putting up instead of shutting up. He's stepping up instead of backing down. And Terence Crawford is getting $6 million. Okay, so $6 million to the champion, $4 million to the mandatory challenger. Okay, that's $10 million, and Bob Arum put the entire amount up. Damn. Now, you ask yourself, it's like, okay, well, how did this happen? Why did Bob do this out of the blue? Why did he all of a sudden, after all the trash talk, after all the bickering and the pissing and the moaning, he was complaining about Terence Crawford and paying Crawford so much money, and I could have got mansions worth of money that I blew on Terence Crawford. Why all of a sudden you think Bob Arum is decided to put up this particular amount? Let me guess. One person comes to mind, and that's Eddie Hearn. Yes, that's right, Eddie Hearn. Bob Arum heard that Eddie Hearn was becoming involved if it would have went to purse bid, and he knew if that was the case, he would then have to outbid Eddie Hearn, at which I don't think he was willing to do, because he learned his lesson last time on what happened to Teofimo, and that's why that fight's coming on Triller. That's why he had to go back to the drawing board to reassure Teofimo that, hey, you're still all right with me, and we still represent you to the utmost on ESPN Top Rank. Okay, so he had to remind Teofimo to keep Teofimo where he needed to. Okay, and he can say what he wants about Terence Crawford. Obviously, he put up money because he knew that, hey, I don't want to lose my fighter to another network due to me being personal and cheap. Okay, because that's exactly all he was doing. That's what he was doing this whole time, being cheap, being bitter, okay, and taking the sport personally when he should have been looking at business, right? Okay, because you have to look at it like Al Heyman, shouts out to him, people, because Al Heyman could have been, or he could have advised, quote unquote, Shawn Porter to just step back. We'll get you another fight with Errol Spence when he comes back. He could have done that. You don't need WBO of any kind for whatever reason, as long as Terence Crawford holds in, and as long as Terence Crawford with Bob Arum. I don't deal with Bob that well. So guess what? I can take you and bring you to another level. You'll get another shot at Errol Spence. It was a close fight. It was a tough fight. Hey, we might throw in the Keith Thurman fight for the winner. Those type of things, okay? So he could have done that, but he stepped back surprisingly. And I think the reason he done that was because he looked at Shawn Porter as a guy that did everything he's possibly going to do in the sport while he had him. So he can afford to let him go astray for right now. Okay? Not saying he doesn't represent him no more. It's just he's not a hot commodity like someone like Errol Spence, someone that's undefeated. Okay, like Deontay Wilder used to be. Errol Spence is the new Deontay Wilder in the PBC lineup. Okay, that's why Deontay and Tyson Fury didn't fight in December. Okay, the premier fight for them was at Texas Stadium, and he wasn't going to bump that particular date off for Deontay Wilder because he didn't know if Wilder was going to win or not. You know, not saying he lost faith, he just didn't have too much trust in that. But Shawn Porter, 3 losses now. He's lost to Kell Brook. He's lost to Keith Thurman. He's lost to Errol Spence. Those are high top fighters. Okay? Errol Spence is out for a while. Eye injury. Keith Thurman, I don't know what the hell he's doing. Right? And Kell Brook, that's happened a long time ago. But he is an action fighter. But I think he could afford to have him a straight, just like he did Andrew Ruiz and Luis Collazo. He's going to let Collazo, because these guys have already been to their top and they've already done what they're going to do as of right now. Okay. But again, it looks absolutely fantastic. Great news. I'm just glad the fight's happening. I don't give a shit who's putting it up. At least we're going to see the fight. We're going to see the best to do it right now versus one of the best welterweights that we have right now. Okay. So again, shout out to Bob Arum for making this happen. Surprisingly, you guys tell me what you think about Bob Arum putting up the whole 10 mil for this fight. Of course, please subscribe. And you guys been Counterpunch. Peace.